Hey, good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for clicking and taking this moment to hang out with me and have a little conversation here about art. I know most of my newsletters, you really about, kind of navigating as a creative through my life and finding the meaning and beauty in everything. But today I'm actually going to talk about art. So today's talk about art is about abstract art. And I have to tell you that in college, I didn't get it. I didn't get abstract art. I didn't like it. I wouldn't have ever thought of buying it, much less making it. I wasn't ready. It wasn't my thing. It wasn't in my peripheral. I didn't attach to it. I didn't have any kind of natural gravitation. And that's what a lot of art is for me, is the things that I'm drawn to as I'm making it without explanation, kind of like cravings when you're cooking. What are you thinking of what you want for dinner? That there are certain patterns and methods and combinations of elements that you're always drawn to that help define you in all the things that you are. So back to abstract art. Let's take a second and let me ask you, what do you think this painting means to you? Right, that's a really good question. What does it mean to you? Because I'm going to tell you what it means to me and what my intention was as I was creating this work. But at the end of the day, I want to tell you that doesn't matter at all. It's what you get out of it. It's what you decide this means for you, and that's the transference, that's the gift that happens between artist as the maker and you as, the viewer, the owner, the appreciator, the person who's going to nurture this image into a new experience that is personal to you only. So 100 people can see this work that I've made, and each of them can stammer in them some kind of memory or symbolism or a new experience that has nothing to do with what I intended when I make it. So it's a little bit of a moment. Do you want to know what I was thinking about this painting when I made it? Would that ruin it for you? Once you know, you can't unknow. And some people, when they hear the meanings behind even popular, famous songs and records and albums, kind of ruins it for them. They just wanted to keep the fantasy alive with how they connected to it. So you can stop the video right here, or you can continue and just keep it to yourself. So I'm going to give you a second to decide. Okay, you're still with me. So the meaning of this painting is very spiritual for me. It's a visual I have after learning about the Ambrosia Hour, which is an hour, a practice to Native American groups. And I really absorbed a lot of this information about different cultures and tribes and reservations that exist when I visited Santa Fe in 2010. And I stayed in Santa Fe, New Mexico with my cousin Lana and Bill Miller and their wonderful children, Daniel and Jared. And it changed me, it really did. It contributed so much to my life. So during this Ambrosia Hour, this tribe wakens every morning in twilight, right before dawn. And they feel at that time that the earth is somehow closest to the heavens, to the spiritual world, celestially, energetically. We have the closest contact to our ancestors and our spirit guides. And this tribe wakes in the morning and they dance and they sing and they use song and they feel through those arts and expressions and that freedom that energy also helps them receive, the guidance from the spirit world. And then they go back to sleep later and wake up with the rest of us. So here, this orb at the end of this painting really is, for me, that is, marking, a global body, an earthly body. And, the illustrations I have of these drips in the resins that come down, are almost like when we're dreaming, for me, when we're receiving messages, we wake up with a dream where a loved one is giving us a very direct, clear message. Maybe we visited somewhere. Maybe someone comes up from our past who is still current, and it was so profound that we're looking for the meaning in it. There are many things that are unexplainable, and that always fascinates me about these two worlds, the one we live in and the one that's just beyond our reach, on the other side, maybe you could say. So here you have it. This painting is titled The Ambrosia Hour. And, it's done in acrylics and glazes to give that effect, almost of that transparent, that body of transparency, that world's, just on the other side of the thin veil that separates us. What do you think? So next time you see some abstract art, don't discount your own experience to that work as the only important answer you have for what it's about. There's not always the artist next to the work explaining what inspired them to make it, why they made it, the symbolism it has for them or I. And there's not always that information next to the work without them. But don't let that intimidate you and feel distant and uninvited. Just appreciate it for what it is. I hope you enjoyed our talk today about abstract art and inviting you into the world I have of interpreting these symbols for myself and the meanings. And I look forward to talking to you again. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you later next week, hopefully.